Sumas p'unchay ñuqa Gaby Vargas kani, Cochabamba Boliviamanta kani, kunan p'unchaypi parlarisaykichik kay negative forms in verbal moods of Tarabuco Quechua, Chuquisaca, Bolivia. The goal is to describe three negative particles, mana or the short form ma, ama, ni with the negative enclitic chu and how they are used in three verbal modes, indicative, potential, and imperative. This work tries to answer the following questions. Can all the moods hold the three negative forms? What situation is each negative form used in? What exceptions may be? As a Quechua speaker, my goal is to contribute with the understanding of the use of negative particles in Tarabuco Quechua. Quechua is the most widely spoken indigenous language in South America, having presence in Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Argentina, and Chile. It's divided also into two main groups, Quechua 1 and Quechua 2. Within the later one also exist three different subgroups, A, B, and C. This presentation will focus on Tarabuco Quechua, a member of the Quechua 2C group spoken in the southern region of Bolivia. The southern Bolivian Quechua language varieties are mutually intelligible. Bolivian Quechua grammars describe negation briefly. For example, this quote says, in negative declarative sentences, the negative particle mana precedes the negated element and the suffix chu is attached to the end of the negated element. The usual pattern for sentence negation is to enclose the verb or verb phrase with these two morphemes. Remember that in imperative sentences, the negative particle is ama, like in the following examples. Mana yachanichu, we have a verb. Mana buruta watasanichu, we have verb phrase. Ama yankaichu, we have the imperatives. Mana yankangichu, a declarative. The particle ni is not described and is not took account as a negative particle. The verbal conjugation of Quechua is quite regular, showing the person, number, and time and mood realized in one inflectional suffix. The position of the negated particles and the enclitic negative suffix may vary considerably depending on what people want to deny with emphasis within a sentence. The negative forms may be used with all kinds of words. The way of expressing negation is not exclusive to verbs. I will show you mainly the conjugation of verb taki, to sing, to see how the negation is formed in Tarabuco Quechua with the particles mana, ma, ni, ama, and the enclitic chu on the verb. The way that you will read the tables are, we have the negative particles, the main verb, stem, the inflectional suffix, which will have the information of who is the person, the number, the time, and the mood, and the negative suffix. Negative forms are developed individually in each mood. We will see first the indicative, the potential, and finally the imperative. We will have the following order: mana, ni, and ama. In this table, we see that the negative form with mana and ma and the negative suffix chu is productive. The way that you will read here, we have the whole pronouns: first person singular, second person singular, third person singular, first person plural inclusive, first person plural exclusive, second person plural, third person plural. And we have here the inflection markers, which are used also when we want to express the past tense. One difference is when we want to remark what kind of past tense was, we can have the past experience erga before the inflectional markers or the past non-experience esga. Notice that in the third singular person, the inflectional marker does not occur when the past markers happened. In future tense, those negative forms are fully productive too. We have the whole paradigm here. The negative particle ni may have different meanings depending on the context. Not even, nor, no, or not. And here we have just the summary. However, we can have the whole pronouns and we can have the same inflection markers showing in table 1 and in table 4. If we want to see the present, the past, and the future. We find that the particle ama may be used in indicative mood only in future tense and is mainly used with second person, singular or plural, as we can see in those examples. Ama ringichu, ama manchikungichu, ama punyungichekchu, ama takiwangichu, ama hinasakchu, ama takipusgaigichu. And this is used for make suggestions or recommendations. Further studies are needed to see what kind of morphism may have the verb. In the potential mood, the negative form with ma or ma and the negative suffix chu is productive. Notice here in table 6 that they might have different inflectional markers compared to table 1 and table 4, which are represented the indicative mood. Also notice that the second person may have two different forms which are used in free variation in Tarabuco Quechua. When we want to express past tense, the enclitic chu must be attached to the main verb, not to the auxiliary. The negative form with ni and the negative suffix chu is fully productive too in potential mood. They may occur in or with all the pronouns. Some interesting things about the form ni is that it also forms words like the negative indefinite pronoun when this particle is preceding the interrogative pronouns like nima, nimai, nipi, nihaika, nimaika. And sometimes these negative indefinite pronouns are used before the main verb, like in the example, ni imayacha ikan manchu. Also, the negative form mana may precede those words in a sentence to make a stronger negative form, like mani mayacha ikan manchu. We also find that ama is used in potential mood, and it can have two different interpretations: to express hope or wishes, or to express regrets if that's used in past. We have the example, Gampis ama ojalá gonga kapuai gumanchu. Finally, we have the imperative mood with the negative particle ni. This is not a very common paradigm, but when it happens, the inflection markers are these ones, shown in table 11. Ni is not a common paradigm because it requires extra words, like if that's used in the imperative mood, it usually have an interrogative pronoun or a noun preceding the main verb, or the negative particle chu has postponed an independent suffix, like in example 6 and 7. Then finally we have the imperative mood with ama, which is fully productive, and we can see the whole inflection. Then ama must precede the main verb if it is denied, and the negative form with ama may also mean suggestions and recommendations. Conclusions. This description represents the simple sentences. Further studies are needed to see what happened with other kind of sentences. And we see that there are exceptions. The form ma is used in free variation in the indicative and potential mood, and it can occur in the imperative. The expression ni is the fully productive, which may occur in all moods, and the particle ama is not used exclusively with the imperative mood. It might be used in the future tense in the indicative mood and also in the potential mood. So I want to say thank you, Pachi. I will be happy to answer your questions. The QA part of this poster. Thank you so much.